So let's review this one more time. You start out with your bank balance. You add deposits in transit. These are deposits that you recorded on your books, but it hasn't hit the bank statement yet. Plus or minus any depositing bank errors. Then you subtract outstanding checks. These are checks that you wrote to vendors that haven't been presented to the bank yet, plus or minus any check-related errors. These items, beginning bank balance, plus or minus any deposits in transit, and any bank errors. Then you subtract out outstanding checks, and plus or minus any errors will help you to arrive at what's called your adjusted bank balance. Now you have half of the calculation done. Now we have to look at the books. We've just adjusted the bank. Now we need to adjust what's on the books. Now we look at our book balance, the balance per our books. We need to now look at bank collections, which are cash receipts recorded by the bank that we have not yet recorded. Maybe the bank went out and collected on an account receivable for us that we have not recorded. Or maybe there is a funds transfer that came from somebody else, like some interest or money market exchange that came into our account that we haven't recorded on our books. So we need to add back any bank collections, plus or minus any book errors that we made. These might be checks that we wrote in error on our books that the bank has not addressed yet. Getting a subtotal of that, we're going to back out and deduct any bank charges. Now, as you know, the bank charges a monthly fee to manage your account. You don't know that until you see your bank statement that the bank charged you. You may have an idea because it may be a set fee each month, but once you see it on the bank statement, you now have to account for it on your books. Bear in mind, all of these journal entries that are affecting the books require adjusting entries. All of these transactions affecting your books require adjusting entries. The items that are adjusted on the bank balance were already recorded on your books, so they don't require adjusting entries. Only the entries of the transactions that are affecting your books require adjusting entries. Let's kind of look at this a little bigger. Now that we have those bank charges, then we're going to have any insufficient funds checks. These are checks that you receive from customers for which they didn't have enough money to support what they gave you. So you got to back that out. And then any book errors, plus or minus. So now that we've come up with our adjusted bank balance, we now have to look at our book balance. And this is based on our ledger account. We're going to start out with that. We're going to add any bank collections. That we haven't recorded on our books. We're going to plus or minus any book errors. And then we're going to deduct bank fees, NSF checks, and plus or minus any book errors. All of this is going to allow us now, once we look at this situation, to get to our adjusted balance on our ledger account or our books. And then at the end of the day, this number here needs to equal that number this number here needs to equal that number here, and that's how you reconcile your bank to your books. We're going to look at a problem in just a moment. We're going to walk through how this works, and once you do this a couple of times, you'll be an expert. More to come.